Resuming debate, the honourable member for Edmonton Riverbend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chair, I'd like to split my time with the honourable member from Calgary Rocky Ridge. But first, I want to start by everybody who's watching, who's tuning in tonight, particularly those in Alberta, apologize on behalf of all parliamentarians for what they just witnessed on the other side of the House. That was a display of your Liberal government in action. Out of touch. It was sad to watch sitting here, Mr. Speaker. So instead of singing platitudes of what the government has done and what they hope to accomplish, I think I'll like to start my speech by reading a few of the messages that I've received over the last little while from constituents. First, we are struggling to make ends meet on my income alone, and it is very hard. After our bills are paid, we have $10 a month to pay for food, gas money to get me to work, clothing, school payments for field trips, etc. Needless to say, we are going further into debt each month with no end in sight. We need help if we are to keep a roof over our head and food in our bellies. Another quote, unemployed since May 2016, unable to find work with my related degree and experience. I have a Bachelor of Science in Biology and numerous certificates. Another quote, I can't afford my mortgage. I feel depressed and forgotten. Lastly, never in my life have I been without a job for this long. I'm simply sad. That's why we're having this debate tonight, Mr. Chair. Not to congratulate the government on initiatives they think are important, not to talk about the child care benefit that they think is important. It's about these people in Alberta who are struggling, these people in Alberta who can't afford to pay their next mortgage payment. My colleagues and I from Alberta have risen many times in this place to ask the government, plead with the government for some type of support. Each time in question period, we get told the same things. Well, we approved more pipelines than you guys on that side of the House. I can tell you, that's not what Albertans want to hear. You say you've been to Alberta? Sorry, Mr. Chair, through you. The minister said he's been to Alberta. Well, I invite him to continue to come back, because wherever he's going, he's not hearing the same things that we're hearing in our constituency offices. Look, to make matters worse, we have the Prime Minister who it's the first comment he made where he told on an interview on TV where he told someone to simply hang in there. That was a slap in the face to Albertans. That was something that everybody, it resonated in Alberta. It's like, is this honestly what the Prime Minister thinks we should do? But then it got worse. He then said that, the Minister of Infrastructure then was asked on a radio show, how do we get out of this crisis? He simply said with a chuckle, we'll hold hands together and get out of this. That's not what Albertans want to hear, Mr. Chair. Lastly, we had the Prime Minister went on his cross-country tour. I encourage him to do that again and again, because that gave us great stuff. However, the comment that he made about phasing out the oil sands,
shameful.
That takes us back to the 1970s, and a Prime Minister back then saying very similar things, who happened to be his father. That's the sense that we get from this government time and time again. You know, Mr. Speaker, we hear about the unemployment numbers in Calgary and Edmonton. They just keep going up. Apparently construction jobs are supposed to be how we're supposed to counter this. That's where we lost the most jobs in the province. 52,800 to be exact. But I want to tie this, in my last few seconds, I want to tie this debate back to where it began. This is a jobs crisis, isn't a news story. It isn't something that you can win political points off of. It's a life for many Albertans back home, and that's why we're having this debate tonight. Thank you.